Utah at Notre Dame. Marco, what should bettors be looking at?
What bettors got to be aware of is this is a major league flat spot for Utah. Last week's loss against TCU, we talk about, goals and dreams. I mean, they got crushed last week. Not only did their dream
So
get
not
crushed,
the team got crushed, the dreams got crushed.
both got crushed. The team got crushed and the dreams. I mean, TCU.
All right, so what did you define as Utah's dream?
Well, is this, coming in, your dream's a national championship. This team had visions of it, of running the table, because they had a soft schedule. They had really two tests, to get through, and the big test was last Saturday, and they flunked.
Well, wait a minute, though. I don't disagree with you, but you don't think their dream was the national title, right?
To start
I mean,
the
because,
season,
back in the 80s, I had, dreams of, let's say, what was her name, Christine Brinkley?
yeah, mine was Farrah Fawcett.
All right,
That's,
well,
I'm a little older.
I'm sure yours wasn't Twiggy back in the 60s. Yeah,
no.
Twiggy. No. All right, but here's the question though. Utah's dream wasn't the national title.
It wasn't the national title
what
to start
was
to
it?
see, but really, RJ, as this season unfolded, they were believing the undefeated season was there. I mean,
All right, which would have been, even that wouldn't have likely have been a national title shot, but they would have made a BCS bowl. So we can say that they've gone from, they win that game against TCU, they probably are playing, or they're almost certainly playing in a BCS bowl, versus now probably playing not even on New Year's Day.
right.
All right, so I can agree, and one of your pet theories, and it's so important in college late in the year, is, let's call it the dream crusher theory, I kind of like that, is when a team's dream is crushed, the next game is their worst game.
Yeah, you just gave me a flashback to home. I got to throw in there when you said Dream Crusher. We used to have a poker dealer that dealt at the Underground, and that was his nickname, the Dream Crusher, because when he flipped the river up, he was the Dream
That's
Crusher.
funny.
But Utah, the one thing that you can say, they are going into Notre Dame, and this is an experience. So, but to come in here deflated, you
Not
might.
only losing, but questioning their very abilities. I mean, it's almost like there's so many situations where you do something at a certain level, you get a chance at a significantly higher level, and when you underperform, you start to question, do I belong here? If it's going up limits in poker, if you take, someone draws out on you in a flush at 2-5, you shrug and move on. They do it at 5-10, you're thinking, or 10-20, you're thinking, wait a minute, did they know something? Were they playing some angle I don't even get? And Utah is like, we're not in the league of TCU, and that has to be a lot of, not only the dreams being crushed, but a lot of self-questioning.
Definitely, and to flip it to the Notre Dame, when we last saw Notre Dame, now they had last week off, so you had 2 weeks to prepare.
Now with Notre Dame, you're undefeated this year. I think it's 3 or 4 wins going either for or against them. So you got a good feel for them. Now one of my pet theories is bet against Notre Dame, especially at home. Sometimes games are easy, and betting against Notre Dame at home is one of those situations. They're 16, 36, and 2 ATS at home. This team's less than 33% at home, and it's like who would play them? There's a premium on them at home, no matter who the coach is. But I tend to agree with you. This is a rare spot. I'm thinking it's either fade or pass. I'm thinking it's pass because I can't think of a worse spot for Utah.
There definitely isn't a worse spot for Utah, but I'm going to look at this Notre Dame. I'm going to bring up 2 things. 2 weeks to prepare, so Notre Dame is going to have some things they're going to come out with, work on some things that they weren't going well. The offense had played well all year for Notre Dame.
Now, you make a good point. They're off a bye. Utah is in a situationally a horrible, forget the motivation from it, schedule this is the 4th time, the 6th time in 20 years, all right? So you were like 35 or so. So you were in your mid-30s, and in that time, only 6 times have they played in the Eastern time zone. So
Okay, well, let's play a game. You played a game last week with what I played.
listen, I'm sorry. The host is talking, all right? You're the guest, so let's get the point straight. Is 6 times in 20 years they've gone to the Eastern time zone. So, I mean, this is just a different experience. There's the internal clocks. It's a different experience. This is also the 4th time in 6 weeks that they've been on the road. So you got a team off a bye. And then you've got Utah playing on the East, which is rare, rare, rare. And you've got them likely fatigued emotionally and physically.
Well, you just hit the big key, and this is where my play's coming in here when you use the word fatigued, mentally and physically. And I've been a proponent in all sports that it takes more energy to play defense than it does to play offense, because defense is all reaction. And that's where I'm going with this play. I'm going with the over in this game. Both teams are going to go up and down the field in this game. I like the game over the total. We've got a total of 54 in this game. I'm projecting a 34-28 game. I actually have Utah finding a way to win because this Notre Dame defense is bad, but I think Utah's going to give up points this week as well.
Well, I got to be honest. I'm going to look to play on Utah at some point after this game because Vegas still has them ranked the 15th best team in the country. And they have a coach that has won 12 of 16 in November ATS, 12-4. So typically if you say Utah against Notre Dame, I'm thinking I'm making one of my biggest bets of the year on Utah because the fade on Notre Dame, Utah having a premium coach and a premium program. I just think situationally this is a rare spot, but I do like that over there.
I like the over. And the one thing that I was going to get out there, because you got me last.
Okay.
Yeah, you got me last week.
Do we have time for this?
Yeah, we got time for it.
Go ahead.
You bust my stones of how old I am. Well, Marco had a birthday last weekend, so we're not going to say how old. But in the comment section, go ahead. I want to hear everybody guess because you make me like I'm ancient. So I want to hear what the viewers think. And you're not going to get brownie points by coming in low. Tell me what you think. And
first off, they want brownie points. They want it from me.
Well, I'm the guy that get the picks from.
Yeah, they got to pay for that. That's good though. All right. So usually we say continue the conversation in the comment section. Here though, you got a special task. Guess Marco's age, and I'm going to really be watching.
Okay.
All right, that's it. So next up, we're going to be talking, wow, interesting, Georgia at Auburn and all the issues around Cam Newton.